When Tony Stark can no longer trust his own armors, when old enemies are coming at him from within, the Iron Avenger will have no choice but to reinvent himself all over again. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Iron Man issue number 1. The kickoff to a brand new ongoing series courtesy of journalist turned comic writer Spencer Ackerman. So then as we join the brand new book, we see a group of workers outside a Stark Unlimited building have been locked out by the establishment. The workers correctly assume that this lockout probably has something to do with the fact that they were attempting to unionize today and were throwing a big event to mark the occasion, and when the workers don't back down, the anti-union thugs end up transforming into black market Hulk creatures to try and chase them off. Luckily, this is where Iron Man manages to swoop on in and make the save. You'll remember at the end of the last series, Tony had just managed to regain control of Stark Unlimited from his evil rival, Fei Long and the mutant-hating Orchis organization. Now he's working himself overtime flying around the world and trying to put right everything that once went wrong, and when he caught wind of this new union talk, obviously he made trails here to see what he could do. Obviously, Tony hates the idea of his company making weapons of mass destruction, especially mutant destruction. The union folks don't like the idea of making weapons either, but at the same time, work is work, and they've unfortunately feel themselves getting jerked around way too often by Stark and everything that's been going on in his life. Which honestly, this book I think perfectly captures what it feels like to be an Iron Man reader sometime. Oh, he's in charge of the company. He's not in charge of the company. Oh, we're making weapons. Oh, we're not making weapons. Basically, the workers want some say in their autonomy and what they do for a living, and Tony can't deny them, agreeing to support their new union before flying away. Only here's the thing though, Tony doesn't make it far as he ends up actually crashing back down to Earth, his Iron Man suit mysteriously malfunctioning, and it is not a nice crash too. Tony ends up getting put into a full body cast and has to spend a couple months rehabbing. This situation also ends up completely supercharging Tony's own paranoia. What could possibly have gone wrong with his suit? Could it be a bug? Could it be sabotage? Could it be something wrong with Tony himself? He's not sure, but he vows to get to the bottom of it, even putting out a massive update diagnostic just to make sure that the other suits aren't compromised. This has unfortunately cost him a lot of time too, as he is now officially late to the first brand new Stark Unlimited board meeting. Tony might very well have managed to steal his company back away from Fei Long, but Long unfortunately picked the brand new board, and they are filled with some actually pretty wonderful deep cuts. There's Jack Kooning Jr., whose father was famously the Secretary of Defense back when Tony was the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. The Koonings have always hated the Starks, which pretty much already lets you know that things are about to turn pretty damn Succession pretty damn fast. My favorite board member, though, is actually Melinda May, aka The Cavalry, former agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., who is actually a canon immigrant from that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. She actually debuted in 2016, and I think it's awesome a writer is remembering to use her again. Now, all that time that Tony was laid up recovering, the board has been planning and scheming to stonewall him with a brand new surprise merger. With who, you might be wondering? Oh, just two of Iron Man's most hated foes. The evil oil company Roxxon, who you will know a lot about if you've been reading Hulk and Thor the last couple years, as well as Advanced Idea Mechanics. In fact, AIM's leader and current scientist supreme, Monica Rappaccini, is even there at the meeting to gloat to Tony's face personally, which is just, petty in so many ways. Understandably, being blindsided like this and bear-hugged by his own board doesn't exactly do great things for Tony's own sense of self-worth. In fact, we see him spiral into a very believable, deep dark hole of self-hating depression wherein he spends his night arguing with supplement salesmen on Twitter. And I mean, we've all been there, right? Okay, just me then, fine. I will actually say this about Ackerman's writing style. He has a very casual, matter-of-factly, almost conversational approach to writing Iron Man in his internal monologue. In fact, he uses a lot of words that I find myself using in these very videos. The supplement salesmen end up challenging Iron Man to a fight, even blowing up a nearby laundromat just to try and coax Iron Man out of hiding. We find out that this is actually the work of the Tiger Pack, the duo of Tiger Shark and Flying Tiger. Two D-list loser villains who even Iron Man refers to as being jobbers. Yeah, see, look, Ackerman, he's one of us. Oh, it gets even better too because the Shark duo refer to Iron Man as being woke and being washed. Man, between this and Absolute Wonder Woman properly using the word yeet in their issue this week, we are seeing a brand new dawn of younger comic book writers, starting to actually incorporate modern slang in a a way that actually feels organic. Now, it turns out the Tiger villains were actually streaming this fight to their unseen boss. It doesn't take Tony long to put together that between everything that's been going on with him at work and the malfunction of his armor, clearly all of these things are related. In fact, Tony's big eureka moment comes when he realizes, hey, if I'm dealing with Roxxon and Roxxon regularly has their fingers in a lot of magical pies, maybe the reason I couldn't actually find anything wrong with my armor was because the sabotage was magical. It's for all those reasons and more, Tony rushes back to his hangar hoping to find his Mysterium armor. A suit that, of course, you'll remember is a remnant of his marriage of convenience with Emma Frost and his time helping fight alongside mutant kind. Only here's the thing though, the real bad guy behind this piece has already dispatched the black market Hulks, who we learn are actually Roxxon berserkers, again a nice little reference to Jason Aaron's time on Thor, to try and stop him. But who is the real mastermind behind all of this? Who is the one who plans to kick off the Roxxon-Stark war? Well, it turns out it's none other than Justine Hammer, daughter of longtime Iron Man foe Justine Hammer, back from the dead. How is she back from the dead? Roxxon has a lot of business in other dimensions and as such was able to just resurrect her. She even says, what, are you surprised, Iron Man? You think by this point people coming back from the dead wouldn't shock you anymore, only for Tony to go, yeah, I know, but still. Not only was it Justine's idea to integrate Stark and Roxxon together, making them the undisputed leaders in the realm of both energy and weapon production, but she's also the one who cast the spell on Iron Man's suit, saying that this is a bold new world when it comes to capitalism and that Tony should probably learn a little magic if he wants to stay ahead of the curve. And as far as using the Mysterium armor to try and block spells, well, that's not gonna work because Justine has already stolen away Tony's prized new armor and used it to christen herself the brand new Ironmonger. In classic supervillain fashion too, even though the new Ironmonger can actively control Tony's suits, she opts not to kill him, instead wanting him to live long enough to see what she does to Stark Unlimited and the legacy of Tony's family. But what's Tony gonna do about it? Well, even though it's become something of a meme at this point too, you know, Tony stubs his toe so he builds a new armor, but no, he decides to get back to work, get back to basics, and build a brand new armor from scratch, complete with a brand new power source that can't be manipulated. And it's on that hopeful note right there the comic comes to a close. And so that was Iron Man issue number 1, everybody, and I gotta say I'm really happy I made time to pick this one up this week, because this one really managed to blow my expectations out of the water. I was really excited to hear that Iron Man was returning to more of a spy thriller, military-industrial complex-inspired type series, and to make it better, they hired Spencer Ackerman, a guy who's an actual real-deal Pulitzer Prize winner, for covering topics of espionage and war. This also isn't his first superhero comic. He wrote Waller vs. Wildstorm for DC, and I gotta say, in my long career, I've managed to cover quite a few journalists turned comic book writers, and this guy might actually manage to make the most easy transition I think I've ever seen. Like I said, I dig the casual, almost conversational tone that the series and Iron Man's internal monologue has. I also like that this one really feels like a sequel continuation of the last Jerry Duggan run, but also a complete fresh start for people who are looking to jump on in for the first time because they thought it looked cool, and indeed, it is cool. Overall, I think I'd feel very comfortable giving this one a super positive 8.5 out of 10, and if this first issue can keep this sort of momentum moving forward, I think we'll be in for a very good time. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.